Happy Fool's Day. Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, in a world that seems more divided, serious, and something downright grim, one thing seems to be fading away: humor. And the question is why? And on today's 1st April, and I remember as a kid, we used to do a lot of pranks. And by 10 a.m., I think we used to finish, but we would not spare anyone, neither our parents, nor our teachers, nor our peer. But this culture seems to be fading away. Or am I out of school, so I don't know what's going on?
The
But
humor is done.
do you think humor is dying, or is it already dead, or we have put too many filters, so there is nobody to touch that deep, dark side? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, actually, I have been thinking about it. I agree that, in my view, humor, if it has not died already, it is on the verge of dying. Now, to qualify it, I think it is more in the urban setting and the kind of humor that we were used to, like you said, playing pranks. I remember, even like when we were working at Intel, even in those days, the HR would publish on April 1st, would, they would publish our internal newsletter, which was literally, like full of pranks. But I don't think
With sensitivity, right? With
no,
sensitivity,
no,
like
you see, I'm talking about not like in the recent years. I'm talking about, it has been like almost now 8 years since I left Intel. Um, I'm talking about even 2, 3 years before I left. But yes, you are right that what I have seen is the decline of social humor. I don't know whether, see, there are different kind of humors, right? One is social humor, where I can joke about anything or anyone on Twitter, Facebook, or socially in public space. And then there's a set of humor that we do, within our very close knit family, friends, and all that. I don't know about that, uh, but I do sense that even that is dying. What I've seen is that the kind of humor that in the last decade or so that I've seen is very cringy. The and very, I would say, I don't know what is the right word for it, but it is very, um, it doesn't provoke thinking.
so. Are you trying to draw a contrast between? Okay, so we have seen a huge surge in stand-up comedians, and there were
Yes.
stand-up comedians earlier as well, and then there'll be a certain amount of satire, be it
Hmm.
political, be it
Yes.
marriage jokes, anything. So are
Yes.
you trying to say that even if there is a surge, humor is still dying because that
Yes.
quality is not there? It's more of a just say anything, just for the heck of saying, or
No, so
just
it's
to
like,
get those
recycled jokes. It's
likes,
like,
or
yeah, it's, you talk about, stand-up comedians. Yes. Either they are very vulgar, all they're talking about is sex, or they're talking about, two or three specific topics, marital, parental, something that, is so much at the surface. It doesn't provoke you. It doesn't actually makes you think. What I remember of humor. So there things, right? One is jokes.
which
You
will be
joke about
published in,
anything.
yeah, or something which is published in books, like we used to get those joke books, or something that comes in newspaper, that joke of the day,
Yeah.
or Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
or on a particular community or on a demographic or something, Polish jokes, Sardar jokes, American jokes, British jokes. So we, now I'm sure that they may be on the internet somewhere, but I remember we literally used to buy, a book on British jokes,
Oh, okay.
and would like laugh away at, but they were like culturally sensitive. I don't know as of today, can I crack the same joke or not? No, I remember, when we, like talking about 20, 30 years ago, uh, and even at Intel, we used to crack jokes and pull leg off our VP, senior VP, even CEO in a meeting. And we would just, crack a joke and we would laugh it away. But those were pointed to instigate a thought. So we would point at a problem. It's a lot of times that I think some people, political jokes, they go that way, but they touch the surface. So they point at a problem, uh, but they don't go deep. They don't make you think. They just dilute or make everything as a laughing matter. So it's a complex thing, right? Humor, in my view, is something that should bond a society or a group. Jokes are something that you use to release stress. So jokes can be at a surface level. You crack a joke about even the weather or the weatherman or whatever. But that's at a surface level. But a satire, sarcasm, that sense of humor, I think my personal opinion is it is already dead, if not dying already.
Rajiv, you talked about the friendship or people at workplace. Excuse me. Does it evolve with time? Like, is it one-way street that one person is cracking a joke and then other person is taking it, or it's a two-way street that one person is roasting the other person and then other person is giving it back like in a very savage manner? How does it help in creating that bond?
See, it opens up your vulnerability. That is one. That second is that I think it builds level of trust. If you in a public setting you are pulling my leg, so to speak, which is also kind of humor. But I trust that you have a good intent behind it. That you are, because you are afraid to say something directly to me, you are guising it, cloaking it in a humorous way, but you're pointing out a problem that I should reflect on. Very, very positive thing. Yes, unless you are trying to demean me and you are trying to, show yourself better than me, that's a separate. So that's why I'm saying it's a very complex thing. But I'm talking about a very natural human to human, human to society, society to society, everything, different equations, humor that actually used to make us think. If I don't know if you are aware of, in India, when we were growing up, there used to be a, Hasya Kavi Sammelan.
Yes.
I don't know whether it is still there or not. But those poets, they would surface the social problems, the political problems, in a humorous way, but they will make you think.
Even comedians like Jaspal Bhatti,
Yes,
ahead of his
yes,
time, and
yes,
even in today's time, his episodes are so relatable.
yeah,
Be
yeah.
it be it a professor getting a PhD done because he
Or
wants,
politician,
or politicians,
or
or
new policy that politician has, so yes, exactly. That's
and
what I'm
same
talking
with
about. That is humor, right? You would laugh, but then you would also think about it. Well, the guy is saying something that I should think about.
even office, and I remember this very vividly,
Yeah,
where Pankaj Kapoor said that, अच्छा तो कुत्तों के साथ तो मेनका जी और इंसानों के साथ कोई नहीं है. And
exactly.
that line stayed with me forever. That, I mean, there are, and it's a good thing that there are rescue teams, everything is there, but then how about human beings who are
Humans.
on,
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah. So actually, you brought up a very good point, but I think that's where I think we went wrong in the last many years. All this wokeism that surfaced, and that brainwashed our children and our, the social setup that you cannot breathe without hurting somebody's feeling, and so you should stop breathing. So, that I think killed humor, the cancel, the cancel culture, the woke culture, where, you know, without even pausing and thinking about, why the person is saying. And, on one hand, you want freedom of speech, but if somebody else says something that is not aligned to what you think, you cancel the person. So, so I think that, this is something that we have brought on ourselves, but it is a shame. And I think if anybody in any researcher can do a research on the decline of humor and um, increase in depression or antidepressant drugs usage, you would see a very, very good correlation. That's my personal thinking.
Yeah, we've talked about this, and then we did talk about that there were samples found in water of,
Yes, yeah, I
yes,
read that during COVID times. Yes, I agree.
the
Yes,
depression samples were found in
yeah.
water. And yes, people
But
are like, there are more platforms, but still I would say it's full of shit, if I can say that.
yes, yes, you can say
And
that.
if I,
It's your podcast. You can
it's
say
my
whatever you want.
podcast. Yeah. And another thing, if we talk, even if we talk about marital jokes, like political, marital, anything, if you ask a girl what kind of guy you like, apart from TDH, we all know where that is coming from.
No,
Good sense of
please explain
humor.
to not every listener would understand what TDH means.
Okay, TDH is tall, dark, handsome, and it's coming from Mills and Boons that girls used to read.
Yes, the
And,
narrative that
and
gets
so,
created. Yes,
yes, yes. And apart from that, should be good sense of humor, little sensitive. Uh, And these two things are poles apart. Good sense of
yes.
humor, little sensitive. Like you want someone with sense of humor with a filter on it. And how does it
No,
work? And
no. Actually, these are contradictory terms. A person who is very sensitive will not have a good sense of humor
so a
because
person
he or
who has a good
she,
sense of humor gets married to a person who's very sensitive. So now it's a
it's a like Mahabharata at home.
it's
Like
a it's a match made
it's a
in
it's a no, it's a match made in hell. Where
wherever.
if one person tries to crack a joke and the other person's feeling get hurt, and then they both sit in silence.
And I remember one of the stand-up comedian. He's pretty old now, but we've seen him as we were growing up. And he used to say that husband and wife are like track of train. They are always going in parallel direction, but they never meet. And this was the most applauded joke. I don't know. I don't know if in today's time, if a husband will clap on this joke, I don't know what will happen to
I'm
that
sure they
husband.
will. They will
No, they
because I'll tell
will.
you why.
No, no, no. It's not just the joke. Even the reaction matters. How can you laugh at that joke? That was so misogynist. That was so sexist. That was this. That was that. So even
Yes,
saying a
yes.
joke is something else. But if someone's reacting
Enjoying
in
the joke is also a
joke,
problem.
it's also a problem. How can you enjoy that joke? How
So
can
I
you do
think,
this to
I
me?
think the cancel culture, I think this is a call to all the wokes in the world that they should cancel April 1st. Because that's a very, very, insensitive festival that we celebrate.
And what's that festival? April 1st.
April Fool joke, April
April
Fool,
Fool. Yes.
we should
Yes.
not be
And
pranking each other. We should always be so serious about life, that, the,
yes. Yes, and
We are better off taking the antidepressant pills than actually laughing
laughing
away.
it out and yes, enjoying the sun or enjoying the jokes or enjoying
Yeah.
uh, the whole vibe of that part. But coming to the history of 1st April, like there's a lot of history associated to it, and I don't want to get into that. But one was that Georgian calendar. So whoever
Yeah.
celebrated before that was considered as fool,
No,
and
actually,
then
it was, yeah, what I've read is that, and you're right that there are many theories about it. But what I read was that it was a shift from earlier, it used to be April 1st as a new year,
yes,
and it shifted to Georgian calendar
January,
of 1st of January 1st, but many people would still celebrate April 1st as a new year.
and then they were so
So then they would be called as April Fools or something
yeah.
like that. But then it became more like a village idiot and many other things that came up. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Bonding. How does humor bonds? And I'm talking about like political parties when they roast each other, especially in US when uh, you see the roast of Trump with Hillary. How much does it impact? Like, if someone is supporting one party, how much trust they get in that party just by the roast?
That's no. See, depends on the setup, right? So most of the roasting that I have seen is a very pre-staged and staged kind of an event where they want to showcase somebody as a human being, or there's publicity stunt. A lot of the Bollywood actors, they actually they sponsor their own roasting event because they want to this is a publicity event. So roasting, I think, is more of a scripted and structured event, whether it is a Bollywood star or a political person, because I don't think that uh, the roasting that you do in a natural setup, is not the way you see it on TV or on this social media. So I don't pay attention to that. These are mostly paid events and very scripted, very fake. You can see even the laughter is fake. Uh, and you know I take it with a grain of salt. I laugh at them, but I know that they bring up some good points, but nothing beyond that. I think that what we are talking about is the humor that is, what I call as innocent and a humane humor. When we were growing up, I don't know whether it is still valid today or not. We would sit in the cafeteria of our college and we would, pull each other's leg, not individual as per se, not like I had, well, I was in Punjab, right? So I had a lot of Punjab, Sardar friends. Uh, we would crack Sardar jokes. We would crack jokes on, each other that somebody is, too uptight or a fat or, I was very, I was, I would say, relatively short, even till my early college. And here I am with Sardars who are like a 6 feet tall people, and they would call me Tigna. And I would, then there was a fat person, we would call him Mota. So these were, and we would actually not, when we were calling each other, calling across the hostel and all that, Oi Mote, and, so everybody knew who we were talking about. But there was no offense taken. Even I have very close friends who are
But you
Sardars,
would
and
get
they,
irritated, right?
no, we would get irritated, but we would then laugh it away. It was, we still, this is like 40, 50 years ago, right? Even today, I have those friends who were with me at college, and, they would crack jokes on Sardars. I would crack jokes on what, like people like me, short people or whoever, whatever they would call me. but we were still good friends. We still, one of my friend, very close friend, is in Melbourne, Australia. He actually visited US, and he made it a point to come to my place. We met after like literally 35 years. And my wife and his, we never met our family. And when he walked in, both our wives said, it looks like you never even went apart. Like it's like literally you're reconnecting as if you met yesterday. Another friend of mine is in Japan. There's a couple of other friends are still in Punjab. But what I'm talking about is that's bond. Today, I would be very hesitant in a social or even my own, like extended setup to crack a joke, and half of the people would not be rolling their eyes and shifting in their chair because they're so uncomfortable about why is he talking about this, and that I think is a problem. We have become, and this is, I'm talking more about urban society. I don't know what is the truth about the rural and other societies, but uh, I think we are. That's why we see all of these. We watch this YouTube or social media. The jokes like Amit Tandon and all these people. They're like, how many jokes can you recycle again and again without actually reflecting what the joke is about?
What is more courageous, Rajiv, according to you? Roasting the other person, or joking in a like close setup, or roasting yourself? And I'll tell you where this is coming from. I love Shahrukh and the way he roasts himself. I don't think so. Anybody has that ability to do that. And seen that in award shows. I've seen his interviews. The way he can, and I mean, that's the kind of
That
courage
no,
he.
I self no, it's not courage. It's self-deprecating humor is not courage. It is simply, and I do that too many times, and I have reflected upon it. And the reason somebody does that is to ward away sarcasm and satire from somebody else. If you are laughing at yourself, you are taking away the opportunity that somebody else can point finger or laugh at you. Self-deprecation humor is, and that's also the safest humor, because nobody can now, if Shah Rukh Khan is cracking jokes and at himself in whatever guise he is talking about them, I have not heard them, so I don't know. But what I reflect upon is that if I crack joke on myself, you know, deep, deep, deep down, I am taking away the opportunity for others to pinpoint that problem in me. So it's a defensive mechanism. So, okay, good. Yeah, you made everybody laugh. But the thing is, you are surfacing a problem which humor should, the right humor. Actually, if, and I would encourage people to search on the use of humor, science of humor. It's a human need for two reasons. One is to actually surface the core issues, but in a very mild way. We talked about Carl Jung's shadow, right? Humor is a way to actually face your shadow in a non-threatening way.
Rajiv, aren't we losing ability to laugh on ourselves if we
Yeah,
cannot?
yeah, we
Uh,
are.
so, how is it like self-deprecating? And this is Zakir Khan joke, which I tell everyone. It's about acceptance. Like when you are gaining weight, and then he's talking about stages. Everybody knows about that joke. The third stage is tere baap ka khavi.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
someone calls me Moti, I give this back to him. Tere baap ka khavi. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let it be. So, uh, are we losing that ability to laugh on ourselves?
No, we are not. See, if you are, let's take the same example, right? You actually very nicely explained exactly what I was talking about. The issue is that you are troubled by the weight that you're regaining, right? That's if you go 2 or 3 levels down, that's the issue that you are dealing with, but you are not confronting it. You are not solving it. So the way you are responding is a self, deprecation joke, and they're a baap ka kha rahi hu, right? Everybody will laugh at it. You will laugh at it. You will go home, but you will not solve the problem.
And how do you know that?
No, saying.
No, I mean, because
Everybody can see
I,
that you are very fit. That means you have solved the problem. But what I'm talking about psychology
no,
behind
no,
it,
no,
right?
no, no. I tell you, with girls, the problem is that we go in a cycle. And Indian women, they gain 5 kgs
No, no, you
every
don't need to
5 years. They
justify.
have
We are
to,
talking about
no, I'm not
humor. We are
justifying
talking
it.
about humor. We are
Yes,
not talking about.
the women cycle and all. All right. But yes, are we losing that ability to laugh on ourselves?
Yes, we are.
And how does it
Because
impact?
it impacts because now if we cannot laugh at ourselves, that means we are taking life too seriously and we forget to live it. We, we had an episode about
Yes,
it.
yes.
So what happens is that we are taking everything so seriously that rather than reflecting that, hey, what does that joke tell me? You know, it is something that we can laugh. Let's say you're walking down the street, right? You slip on a banana peel. That's something that you just laugh about. If 20 people are standing there, they laugh at you. You also laugh about. You pick up the banana peel and throw it in the trash can, and you walk away. So that's like very, very, simple humor, right?
Right.
But somebody, cracking a joke of being fat, and you are fat, and you go back and you give a comeback like tere baap ka kha rahi hu kya. So that is a different kind of humor, right? That's where it goes a little deeper, that it encourages you to think, but you refuse to think. And that's where I think the mix-up happens. That's where we lose the sense of humor and we become so serious.
I this is my take on it. Till the time you do not have a comeback, you do not enjoy a joke. Again, the banana peel joke. If you slip and someone cracks a joke, or there is a crack on the floor,
Ah.
right? Indirectly saying that till the time you do not have a comeback, you'll not enjoy that joke. If everyone is laughing, you'll be
No, you
like,
laugh. No, no, you will not have a comeback. But let's say many times, you just laugh at it and just say, yeah,
yeah,
I made a
yeah,
fool of myself. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So no, what I am trying to bring is that it's not a one-way street. It has to be a two-way street.
Yes,
It
correct.
cannot be that someone is on the receiving end only. Till the time,
Always. Yes.
yes, we had all this time wife jokes. Now jokes are coming on husbands as well. And now people have all of a sudden started enjoying everything. But again, as you said, are we doing something about it? No, men are still lazy. And there was this joke, very relatable, that if you tell your husband something, it will be done. You don't have to remind him in every 6 months,
Yes. Or every year
every
or
year,
every few
every year.
years.
So yeah. So, and are men doing anything about it?
You that's where I'm talking about. That there's a different, when we say humor, it's a very, very broad term, right?
Right.
So there's a sense of humor that is more really about fun, having fun, bonding, laughing and connecting and all that. But then there's a sense of humor that actually surfaces underlying issues that should be taken seriously, but we don't take seriously. On the other hand, there are humorous things that we should not be taking seriously and we take very seriously. There are idiots in this world that would take offense to the wind is blowing north to south and they were expecting the wind to blow east to west. So what do you do about that? So they are the, they are the people who start, and this is the, I'm very vocal about the wokeism and the cancel culture, because those are the idiots who actually are killing a sense of being human, all the while propagating that they are actually, promoting being human. So they need to sit down and reflect the thoughts and the action. So I think, the when we started this topic, I do agree that humor is dying if it is not dead already.
Hmm. Point to time to pause and reflect. We've been taking things a lot for granted, and
Too
it's a
seriously.
high too seriously. And I really want our listeners come to our website, tell us the most funny prank, most memorable prank they've had, and if they want to come on our show, we are more than welcome to host you. Closing lines from your side, Rajiv.
So I think I've used this couplet maybe more than once, but I think it's very appropriate to this topic. ना कोई नोक झोंक, ना कोई व्यंग या विवाद, मुर्दे हैं लोग यहाँ या दफन हुए हैं रिश्ते. So
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajiv. That was really something that we can ponder upon. Thank you so much for listening.
thank you.